Warning, this episode contains adult language, mature situations, stuttering main characters, the art of hip-hop dancing, going against stereotypes, and manga news. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Listen, review, Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of the Spiraken Manga Review. I'm your host, Zan, saying konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? Hope you're doing well and hope you're excited for another fun-filled episode of this awesome podcast brought to you by www.spiraken.com. And, well, everyone here at youtube.com/Spiraken. Hope you're doing awesome, hope you're doing amazing, and hope you're excited for this awesome podcast that you can find here at youtube.com/Spiraken and www.spiraken.com. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, welcome. Spiraken are some podcasts and vague reviews about connectedly enhanced narratives. Is a nerdy podcast where every episode we talk about various geeky topics. Since it's the manga review, obviously we're talking about manga. I tell you the art quality is, the overarching plot, and most importantly, if it's worth investing your time in or not. You don't have to agree with anything I or my co-host say. We try to be educational, enlightening, exciting, and most importantly, entertaining. And with that in mind, let's actually get to it because I'm excited to talk about this one. It's a little bit different, it's a little hip, it's a little twisted, but let's get to it, shall we? Because if you remember from that last episode, I spun that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga, and it dictated to me that I'm reviewing a manga that was written by Coffee. Yes, Coffee is their name. Sorry about the Minazuki, that's a small error on my part, but whatever. And it's published by Kodansha USA. So it's a relatively big property that has a large amount of volumes in it. This was originally started in 2019 and it's still coming out to this day. It was released in Monthly Afternoon Magazine and there's 9 volumes out currently. This has been nominated for several awards. It's considered one of the top 50 mangas of 2019 because of its unique nature. And the demographic for this is seinen, meaning it's for adults. Men over the age of 15 to, 40. And it's engaging and very different, and it's like a little bit slice of lifey, meaning that it is a sports romance slice of life story that deals with tons of different topics. And what is this manga that I am talking about that's so unique, so different, so weird? Well, we're talking about Wandance. Now, Wandance is a kind of unique, insane, and weird story about a young man named Kotani Koboku. And Kotani is someone who is, life hasn't been super wonderful for him. He has a stutter and he's very shy. So generally, he tries to stay out of the way, tries to keep out of things. Make sure that he just doesn't stand out too much because when people talk to him, he stutters. Even though he's really good at basketball and he's good at some stuff, he doesn't have a lot of confidence. And he's pretty much wants to just stay the way he is. He's like, I don't want to make waves, I just want to get through life and coast because I just want to be normal. I don't want to go against the grain. I don't want to stand up because nothing good ever comes of that. And his friends tell him, why don't you join the basketball team? Sure, I'll join the basketball team. He's good at it, but his heart really isn't into it. And he's in a small town where they make fun of people who are good at school and who language is a big thing. Like he's in his English class and he speaks pretty good, but everyone just laughs at it because they're never going to go out of the country. Until one day he notices that one of his associates, his classmates, is a little different. She picks up the flyer for this new dance club that he sees, and he notices her one day dancing, and it just shocks him to the core because it's so free, so uplifting. Because it was about 7 years ago, Japan made it mandatory that dancing for hip-hop and, it was dancing and there was something else. Oh yeah. My brain is stopped slowly. Apologies. But yeah, so the Japan scene started in 2012, and it's now mandatory for part of the school curriculum. And so what happens is there's tons of people learning hip-hop, street dancing, and all these other styles of dance. And it's kind of a big deal. So the dance club's constantly looking for new members. However, all the members are primarily female. So our main guy ends up becoming a dancer. And that's what this is about. It's about someone who gets excited about dancing because it's something different and unique. And more importantly, it's something which he could do where he doesn't have to worry about stuttering because he doesn't talk. He lets his body do the talking, and he's a great mimic at it. He's not amazing at dancing, but he's pretty good. And it's all about him studying and learning and just learning to not give a crap about what other people think. And the art is beautiful in this. And it gets really detailed into all the small elements, like him learning how to dance. It gets into, okay, so I've got to move my head slightly to the left because this is the way that it went. No, the left? No, it was more the right. And then he's like, I got to get up my center, and then I got to move my head down to the left, and then that's right, I'm popping and locking. And it's teaching you how to do moves like pop and locking, the crab, the running man. And it's kind of, well, not whimsical, but hey, I don't know how to dance well. And it shows you the basics of the way to do it, how you have to keep your weight equally on your toes and your heels, and you move side to side. And that's how you feel the rhythm, and how the beats per minute will show you how to dance. How if you go too soon, that causes a disjointed moment. Going too late causes an echo effect. All the little elements of dancing. And more importantly than that, the girl that helps him realize this is Wanda. And she doesn't care if anyone sees her. At one point, his friends take a video of her, and he gets really upset about it because he's like, why are you making fun of her? She's doing her thing. Let her just do her thing. And she gives him the confidence to do what he needs to do. And I know that this makes no sense, and I'm probably going to babbling, but just this is an invigorating manga that does do something very different. And it's stylized and, well, kind of cool. But I digress, so let's go further into it. So, as you can tell, the art style is ingrained. At one point, we actually see archival footage of Scatman Crothers, who had a stutter in his real life. And it looks realistic to a point. Like, the movements are well done. The shading is intentional and just, well, it looks pretty badass. I know that I go from, oh, it sounds very articulate to very blah, but let's be honest. It is a style which it flows well. You can actually see the dance movements going. This is a manga series that you should have an anime to, just to see the dances in motion. Similar to Welcome to the Ballroom, how they have these very surreal images of the dance movements, but when you see it in action, it makes perfect sense. This is the opposite of that, where all the movements are real movements, and you could see the motion in the images. However, I think that an anime would do this manga tons of service. And, well, all the designs for everyone are well done, and the attention to detail they take for Wanda is fascinating. Just seeing her in her movements, her going from these very beautiful poses to totally ghetto thug moves. It's just, you could hear the music as you're going with it. And like so many other dance manga, this does talk about music in general. The song that they use for this one is Ed Sheeran's The Shape of You. And I was like, really? For hip-hop, you're using Shape of You? But hey, it's street dancing. You can do what you want with what you have, right? So that is where that goes. But overall, I have to say, this is one of those mangas that just, it's interesting and engaging, and more importantly, it shows a side of sports that you don't really expect. Because most people, when you see a sports manga, it's like, okay, it's this basic information, here's what it is. This does something very different, and I love that it does that. It shows attention to detail to the style and makes you want to know more. If you're not into the dancing at all, this is going to be very confusing to you, and you're going to have to go looking through YouTube clips like I did to see what dances were referenced, what they were talking about, and more importantly, how to understand what was going on. Some of them I've heard of, like I know the Running Man, I know the Crab, but then they reference a couple of older dances that I was like, wait, I've never heard those before. So it's one of those moments. But I'm getting on a little bit of a tangent. Now, for the design quality of the manga, this is an epic manga. I love it. It's got a glossy cover to it. The opening couple pages in color just pop. It's another Kodansha amazing release where they incorporate the art into the production, and it feels good. It just, that whole style of it, just at one point when you're looking at the opening cover and you see this spread of just, here's the chapter contents, and then you have just a picture of Wanda in a surreal purple pose. It looks really cool. And I do have to give this great moment to it. Now, on the other hand, besides the art style, besides the quality of the manga, let's actually get into some of the negatives of it. One, like I said, this is one of those ones where if you have no concept of street dancing, hip-hop dancing, you're going to be completely lost. The story of Kotani and him coming out of his shell, that is the main premise of this. Is Kotani coming out of his shell, learning to not worry about his stutter, to let his body talk, to get the confidence to do what he needs to do. That part is universal and you will understand it. The other elements get kind of confusing, get kind of jumbling. Some of the dance sequences are a little much. You get a little confused and they feel like they drag a little bit. And that is a bit of a hindrance to the manga, especially if you're trying to find something fun to read. It may drive some people off. But I am getting a little bit wonky, so let me just finish off by saying something very simple. I do enjoy this manga. I might pursue it later. I'm not sure. But for all these reasons, I'm going to have to give this our middle of the ground rating, which is going to be a gift from your crazy Aunt Muriel. It's okay, but in the end, it's forgettable. There are some amazing images, some amazing things in this. It is very niche, though. It is for a specific type of manga fan. It is for a specific type of fan. If you're looking for a character study, this is for you. If you're looking for a sports manga, this might be for you or it might not. It might drop. It's going to be 50-50. If you're in a dance, you're going to love this. Overall, though, I think this is one of those ones that you're going to have to make the assessment yourself. For me, it is good, but there are better dance manga out there. Like I said, Welcome to the Ballroom. You have not Saison Life. It's the Soshua Pin, which that one's still one of my favorites because it gets into the elements of dancing. But this is more modern, so maybe I'm just an old man. I mean, I am an old man, but whatever. I digress. So that's my thoughts. Now, if you agree with me or if you don't, if you've read this and you enjoyed this, let me know. Leave me a comment down below or just email me, zan@spiraken.com. Tweet me at Spiraken. Let me know your thoughts on if you enjoyed this manga or not. And so with that in mind, let's actually get to the next part, which is kind of important, which is the manga releases for the day, because we had a bunch that came out yesterday on the 31st, because it is now February. But let's actually see what came out on January 31st, 2023. Can't lose 2023 still. So starting off, we have Cherry Magic. Yes, Cherry Magic. This is a manga which is, well, I've heard mixed about it. It's a little weird, well, let's be honest. It's one of those ones which I'm just kind of confused by. But Cherry Magic 30 Years of Virginity Can Make You a Wizard Volume 6 was released yesterday. Fire Force Omnibus 2, which is Volumes 4 through 6. Happy Kaneko's Killer Life Volume 6. How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift Volume 11. Still happy that this manga is coming out because it is one of those sports mangas that makes you want to get into shape. I Swear I Won't Bother You Again, Volume 3. I'm in Love with the Villainess, Volume 4. This is the manga version, not the light novel. I'm Not a Succumbus, Volume 3. Loner Life in Another World, the light novel, Volume 4. Great series. The manga was really addictive, and this light novel, I'm excited to read where it goes next. Monster Guild, The Dark Lord's No Good Comeback, Volume 4. My Dress Up Darling, Volume 7. My Life Has No Emotion, Volume 4. This one is an interesting premise. It's hard to get a hold of, though. I've been looking for it everywhere, and no one seems to have it. I don't know why. So, My Wife Has No Emotion is one of those ones which, if you know where I can find it, email me, zan@spiraken.com, because everyone seems to be sold out of it. Anyway, Otaku Elf, Volume 5. Real Accounts, 18 to 20. Sayonara Football, Volume 15. She Professed Herself Pupil of the Wise Man, the light novel, Volume 6. Survival in Another World with My Mistress, light novel, Volume 4. The Dawn of the Witch, Volume 2, light novel. The Moon Over the Mountain. This is a manga which looks very, well, different because it seems to be a storybook. It's based on a novel which had multiple stories in it. This one, I don't know what it's about, but Kodansha's releasing it, and it's a hardcover, so I want to see this one and see what the deal is. And last and certainly not least, we have Yakuza Fiancé Raizwa Tanin Ga-i Volume 2. So those are the manga releases for the week. Which are the ones you most excited about? Me personally, I'm excited for Moon Over the Mountain, Survival in Another World, Real Account, Otaku Elf, Wife Has No Emotion, Dress Up Darling, Loner Life in Another World, and How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift? What about you? Let me know in the show notes down below. And with that in mind, first off, I'd like to say thank you so much for checking this out. I appreciate each and every one of you, every single view, every single subscription, every single just comment gives me more motivation to keep doing this podcast, which I love doing. And I'm going to keep doing this to an old man who has to read manga with thick glasses and a magnifying glass and large print manga. But I digress. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, you can email me personally at Zan, that's Xan, @Spiraken.com. It should be in the notes down below, as you can see right here. Should be right there, yep. Zan at Spiraken.com is where you can email me. You can also remember to like and subscribe at Spiraken.com or YouTube.com/Spiraken, iTunes.com/Spiraken. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and various other social media sites. Just type in SPIRAKEN, and I guarantee you find us one way or the other. And with that in mind, actually, let's get to the part that you have all been waiting for. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga! Yes, friends, the Wheel of Manga, except no substitute. Now, what is the Wheel of Manga? The Wheel of Manga is a Wheel of Fortune on it. And what I've done is I've assigned a manga title to each of the 10 slots. So we're going to spin the Wheel of Manga. Whatever number it lands on, that's the manga we're going to review in the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, episode 505. Yes, we're 505 episodes in on this awesome podcast. And I'm excited to see what we're going to review because we've got so much going on and so many different titles. So let's spin into a review, shall we? It's a pretty big list, so we're going to see what's going to happen. So, number 3, My Home Hero. Well, this one just got a online license, and people are talking about it because the anime is coming out soon. I'm excited to talk about this one. Let me know your thoughts. And as usual, I'm your host, Zan. I'm Gonzville. Catch you guys next time. And keep reading manga. See you later.